Hello everybody, welcome to an edition of Sports Talk. This is a segment where I just talk about one of the things that I am most passionate about, and that's sports. And yeah, I know I got this dead cat mic over here. I know that it isn't really aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but this is for the purpose of better sound quality. And if you don't like it, I don't know what I can do about that. Maybe you could leave some suggestions of what I can do. Maybe if I'm more serious, I will set up a rig as to find a way to get this out of the shot. But you know what? I don't think it's that big of a deal. And what better way to start this segment by showing my disgust for the NBA? Maybe it's because I am coming from the place of being a butthurt Sonics fan who had his team taken away from him. That team moving to OKC, where they made a finals appearance and they have one of the best players in the NBA in Westbrook. And I have no one really to root for in the NBA, at least for me, except the Milwaukee Bucks, because Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the coolest players ever. Bucks and 6. So if you've been living under a rock, the Golden State Warriors a couple days ago won the NBA Finals in a shocking upset over the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, no one could see that coming, right? But this is all because Cupcake Snake Kevin Durant decided to join the best team in the NBA, who already had 3 All-Stars, and in doing so shifted the balance of power of the NBA in favor of the Warriors for the years to come. And this also in turn made what was already a predictable product in the NBA even more predictable. And if KD stays in Golden State, the Warriors are probably going to win the championship every year from now on. I know the take that I am coming up with isn't really novel or groundbreaking, but the NBA has been a flawed product for a long time. I can see why you may be interested in the NBA. Like, you feel like you're more in tune with the players or have a personal connection with them, and that's probably because, unlike football or baseball or hockey, the players don't really wear any protective gear to cover themselves. It's just they're out in the open wearing jerseys and shorts, and also there's only 10 people on the court or the playing field at a time. Most of the players are well known because of that, and there are only 14 or so players in each team in the active roster, and contrast that with the 53-man rosters of the NFL or the 40-man rosters of the MLB. Or maybe you just like playing basketball, or maybe you just like the soap opera drama that comes with it. I think most of that comes from the fact that the NBA is so individual, star power driven. Like, the contracts of the NBA are all guaranteed, and that immediately gives power to the players and not really to the teams or the coaches or management. Like, the players have such a big influence on their team. As long as you have LeBron James or 4 All-Stars in your team, it doesn't really matter who your coach is. Sorry, Tyronn Lue. When I say soap opera like storylines, I mean the biggest storylines of the NBA are always, who's gonna go to which team? LeBron punched a blackboard and played with a broken hand this whole time? Or J.R. Smith, how the did you not know what the score was? And I can already see the biggest storylines of the offseason, like, where's Kawhi gonna go? Where's KD gonna go? Who are they gonna draft in the upcoming draft? Are the Suns gonna get DeAndre Ayton? Ultimately, my point is, what does it really matter? The reason why I am just frustrated with the NBA is just the utter predictability of it all. You are a liar If you tell me you didn't see this NBA Finals coming, I bet you 90% of the people, if they were asked who the two teams in the finals for this year, before the season even started, were going to be, they would have said Cavs and Warriors. If you thought otherwise, either you're a die-hard super fan of your team, or you're just completely delusional. Like, we all know that next year's NBA Finals, no matter where Kawhi Leonard goes or Player X goes, the two teams that are going to be in the finals are pretty much wherever LeBron James goes and the Golden State Warriors. Maybe the Boston Celtics. Or hey, maybe Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant and LeBron James join a team and completely mess up things from there. I am exaggerating a bit, I know. And I apologize for that. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case next year. And realistically, if you look at it, there are 30 teams in the NBA, and there are really only 3 to 4 teams that have a legitimate shot at making the NBA Finals and also winning the NBA Finals. It's always whatever team has the most stars and or LeBron James. If you just look at the NBA in the big picture from afar, you can really see the huge divide, the huge gap between the haves and the have-nots. I mean, don't take my word for it, just look at history. Of all the teams that have won the finals, there were 7 3-seed teams that have won it all, and there are 11 second-seed teams that have won it all. And you know how many number 1 seeds have won it all? 52. 52. Other than that, the only team that was not a top 3 seed to win it all was the 4th seed Boston Celtics back in '69. Nice. And the Hakeem Olajuwon 6th seed. Why is that so hard to say? 6th seed Rockets back in 1996. So if you're not a 1 or 2 seed, you have not much hope of winning a title. And if you're the 26 other teams in the NBA, what's the point of watching if you already know or already have a good idea at least of who's gonna win it all? I feel like in terms of solutions to this, although there isn't really any easy ones regarding this, maybe there needs to be a limit on how many all-stars you can have in a team. That can be maybe very subjective, of course. Maybe there can be a way to limit the salary cap so that teams can't just like maneuver all this cap around to sign all the stars that they can, or just maybe ban free agency altogether. And of course, I mean, there will still be trades. This is the only really solution I can think of off the top of my head, as doing so would prevent players on their own volition or their own desire to really shift the powers in the NBA. If this were to happen, we wouldn't have seen KD join the Warriors and pretty much guarantee them 2 championships, and if KD stays longer, 7 or 8. And this also would have prevented LeBron James joining the team of super friends and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade for the Miami Heat. I mean, yes, if this idea were to happen, no free agency, but still trades, teams would probably try to trade for stars, but at least when the teams that trade their stars away, they're not just being left in the dust. They're going to get something legitimately back in return, whether that's young prospects or high draft picks. But if you put free agency in that equation, you get players like Kevin Durant leaving with, you know, the Thunder really not getting anything back. So yeah, those are my thoughts about the NBA, and I could ramble on and on about this topic, but pretty much is an exercise in futility, symbolic of the nature of the NBA as a whole. Will I still keep watching maybe a highlight here or there, a sick dunk or alley-oop, the memes, the endless memes that come out from the NBA, an occasional Shaq'd in a fool here or there. But yeah, not really. And that's why I admire teams like the Dallas Mavericks a couple years ago, several years ago actually, when they won, because no one really predicted that they would win it all. And yet they did. They upset the LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh Miami Heat. I feel like they were an outlier for the first time in a long time in a league that, again, is just simply predictable. And it's a shame, because that's probably what the NBA is going to look like for a long time now, and history tells you that that is the case, and there isn't really much that will be done or even can be done to change that. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope that you enjoy watching videos like this, and expect more videos like this where I talk about sports and all that there is to do in the sports world. And please let me know your opinion in the comment section down below regarding this whole topic. I know that it's is it a controversial topic? It probably is. I mean, if you love the NBA, feel free to defend it. And if you like sports and want to see more videos of me talking about stuff like this, then like, comment, and subscribe.